Hello there, people. Hello, and welcome to After Midnight, the Vegan's Beef. The Vegan's Beef has returned after a 2-year hiatus. And I will explain at some point what happened that took me off the air. So it didn't have anything to do with YouTube or whoever. It's just that, oh gosh, it's just been a miserable misery. But I'll explain all about it. But anyway, I was just thinking about something and I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna go back and do the vegan's beef real quick. And so the vegan's beef is back. All right. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about was the 1994 crime bill. And excuse me, I get tense. My shoulders, you know, I can't really relax sometimes. But I wanted to talk about the 1994 crime bill and the author. The author of the crime bill, 1994 crime bill, was Joe Biden. And the person who passed that bill was Bill Clinton. And as you remember, in the 90s, there was nothing but Black teenagers, gang members mainly, getting shot. Lots of nice kids also who just happened to be in the line of fire. But we lost so many, 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 many young people. And it devastated a lot of Black businesses, including mortuaries, funeral homes. And because the people would have these fabulous these big funerals with the limousines and the police escorts and the this and the that and the flowers and the spreads, the oh, what do you call those? Yeah, and everything. And they didn't have any money. They didn't have any money. So the mortuary people never got paid, and they're out of business. They're gone. They're gone. All of the Black funeral homes are pretty much out of business. I think there might be one or two left. And then from that point, it goes to the integrated, which is probably we would want to be integrated at some point. You know what I mean? But anyway, um, so during Clinton and a lot of the, unfortunately, I have to say, Democrat presidents, there seems to be a lot of Blacks getting killed. And they're getting killed not just by the cops, because everybody, it's not like a Black thing. It's not. That's just a ploy to keep the police out of the Black neighborhood so that the gangs take over and then no one's policing and but what I wanted to say was that Biden was the author of the 1994 crime bill. And the 1994 crime bill, excuse my curtains and stuff. I'm on the other side of my loft. Anyway, I'll get to that in a bit. But that was a Jim Crow law. That was a Jim Crow law, the 1994 crime bill. And I mean, I don't know what to say, because I have started to do some research and come to find out all of the Jim Crow bills ever passed in the United States were passed by Democrats, Northern and Southern. I come from Oregon, Oregon came into the Union in 1859 as a Jim Crow, a northern Jim Crow state. And there are still some Jim Crow laws on the books, still on the books. And, it's just very disappointing to me that in 2024, not one person said anything about electing a president who was involved in Jim Crow legislation. That is, and we're into 2000. So I left the United States. I'm back for a moment because I have a house that I have to decide what I'm going to do with. Am I going to sell it? Am I going to rent it? Am I going to give it away? I'm not really sure, but I know that the United States is just turned into, well, it was always what it is today. It's never been anything different. And a lot of it is just smoke and mirrors and a lot of razzmatazz. But when it comes down to it, you have someone, and then with the Democrats, it was a coalition, a rainbow coalition of candidates. But was that just a show? Was that a show? That's really interesting. And then we had the first, suppose they said black. Obama was not black. He is half Kenyan and half Caucasian. That doesn't make you black. He was not raised in the United States. He's a very kind of mysterious person. We don't know much about where he came from or who his parents were. You hear a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And when he became president, he did not improve the life. But you know what? We don't need to be saying black people, he didn't do this for black people, and which he didn't. He didn't do anything. He refused to discuss reparations. He refused to pardon Jack Johnson, which Trump pardoned. And I think Trump would even entertain discussing reparations because he's the one who brings up a lot of the practices and of the Democrats and how they have been kind of bamboozling and hoodwinking Black people for all these decades and centuries, even over a century. And I don't know. I'm so disappointed in the whole place. I cannot. No. I have integrity, and I'm not going to deal having a leader that introduced a Jim Crow bill and the people voted for. That just shows what American people are made of, and that's just something I can't do. And I didn't vote in the last election because I was just too stressed out. Because, you got bullies and haters, and you can't even discuss who you vote for, who you might vote for, who you're considering voting for. The judgment is just ridiculous. And I just really can't deal with it anymore. I cannot deal with it. I lived overseas. I moved overseas in the 80s. And every time I came back to the United States, I regretted it. And now I don't even watch the news. I watch cooking. I don't even really watch anything anymore. I just go on the internet and I learn about digital marketing and online, business transactions and coding and Python and what SQL and JavaScript and stuff like that. But I really can't deal. But I have to say shame on America. And maybe that you felt like that was your only choice. But you have to have some self-respect, Black people. And you can't let people talk to you like they're your homie or whatever. No way. No way. Have some respect for yourself and stop allowing these ridiculous um gestures, empty gestures like this Juneteenth nonsense. If anything, the holiday should have been the Emancipation Proclamation, not Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a myth. If it did happen, it only happened in Texas. And that's just another distraction to keep people from discussing reparations. And reparations should have been done and settled well over 100 years ago, if not decades ago. And now, look what's happening. All of the money is going, and that it doesn't even make sense. I can't make sense of it, that it's not even going to legal immigrants, it's going to illegal immigrants. That What kind of sense does that make? I mean, that and then you're allowing all of these people coming in with no ID. They could be spies, they could be terrorists. Now, I'm not trying to say that people coming into the country are bad people, but I'm saying they're people who you just don't know anything about. And the Southeast Asian country I live in, they know exactly who's coming in from any way, from a plane, a train, a bus, a ship, anything. That you're not coming in there. They need to know who you are. They need to know where you live. They need to know all about. They even ask about your parents. They ask what are your parents, what nationality were your parents, and what did they do, and stuff like that. And then they ask you, what religion are you? There's no shame to their game. But there's lots of like people of all religions. People of all religions are there, are welcome. They just want to know. That's all. That's all. They just want to know. They don't say you can't come if you're such and such or such and such. They just want to know. So anyway, the vegans beef is back, and I'm dressed so down, but that's okay. I'm going to get dressed up. I usually, you know how I get dressed up, but the important thing is just to be online, right? Alrighty. Well, let me get going. It's so late. I've been up all day working with AI. AI video editing. I'm so exhausted. But yeah, so the vegan will be back, and so will 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk. That'll be coming. Oh, I don't even think I watched it this week. Ooh, I have some catching up to do. All right, people. Well, I look forward to seeing you again. And you could do your thing with the subscribing, and I started getting a few people, and then it kind of stopped. I have to figure out how that works. You know, this is a show about nothing basically. So, but shoot, Seinfeld, they had the viewers all right. Yes, he did. Yes, he sure did. Oh, that was a good show, but we'll talk about that another time. Okay, let me let everybody go. Thank you so much. I will see you in the coming. Sorry, that's my makeup that gets all itchy. In the coming days. Take good care. Sorry. And we'll check in soon. All righty. Bye bye.